Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Something Sunday. And yes, today is another Something Sunday where I'm going to post a Percy Reacts. So I'm not sure why I keep saying it's Something Sundays. It's just a Percy Reacts video. Today we're going to react on something that is really cool, really useful, really needed. Because breakfast is what they say is the healthiest way, the best way to start your day with a good proper breakfast. It will get you fueled up for the rest of the day. I'm not sure because normally I skip breakfasts. Yes, I know it's not healthy, but I wake up at 5 and leave my house at 6, and I have to walk the dog, get changed, get refreshed and everything. And yeah, this is all bull crap because there is always time for breakfast. But I skip it. Except on the days where I'm home with my kids, then I have breakfast to give them a proper example. And let's find out which country does have the best breakfast. Now, I'm not sure. I'm from Holland, and in the Netherlands, the regular breakfast is with like sandwich with peanut butter or with sandwich with cheese. That is the basic thing. And over the last few years, there has been more influence from outside, from wherever, and people get more healthy breakfast like oatmeal stuff and like that. But I don't think that this video will go about that. So let's just dig in and see what this man has to tell and show.
That breakfast is one of the greatest meals of all time. And that's why today I'm on a mission to find the best breakfast in the world. Viewers from all over the globe submitted their favorite breakfasts from their representative countries, and thousands of votes later, the results are in, and we're left with a top 12.
Okay, top 12.
Today in one insane battle. The top four most popular
battle of the breakfast.
To compete for their chance to move on to the tournament. The world's most beloved breakfasts are going to battle.
What will they do? Will they just give someone
Ireland versus the Philippines? Long Ceylon.
Oh, that looks good. Rice.
With a generous amount of fried garlic, longanisa, fried
Oi.
favorite Filipino chef Christian, said to serve with sliced tomatoes, seasoned with fish sauce, and the commenters in our Filipino versus American breakfast called for achara, pickled papaya, and
oh my days, this looks good.
and soy sauce. You know, to cut the richness of all that. Garlicky fried rice and pork. Next up, Ireland.
Yep. It's a full plate. It's a rice in the morning. It's a full plate, full on breakfast. But it looks good. It looks good. I will absolutely eat that if someone prepared it for me while I'm preparing myself for work. So, but unfortunately, I'm not from the Philippines.
Full Irish breakfast.
This is I do not like.
Black and white pudding.
I don't like the pudding and the beans.
And mushrooms. And we even got soda bread served on the side with
The rest the rest is good, but the pudding and the beans, I do not like it. Vikram.
Two unlikely competitors, Philippines versus Ireland.
Yeah, this is unfair. It's an unfair battle. Yeah, me
I don't
too.
even say anything. I want to just keep eating it. That rice is incredible.
Yeah.
This is incredible. It's just a great.
It looks good. It really looks good. What?
Rice, unbelievably garlicky, but not overwhelmingly so. It's almost more of a fragrance than it is like some sort of blast in your.
That's good.
Longanisa is fantastic. It's sweet.
It looks so great, man.
It makes a beautiful sauce with crispiness, all the accoutrement. It's wonderful.
There's so many different flavors and textures, and they all go so well together. And individually, each bite is incredible. No matter which component you taste, there's nothing to not enjoy. It's great.
When Flavor Town was founded, this is what they had in mind. They wanted that garlic. They wanted the sausage.
It looks so good, man.
Together to form a sort of a town. Maybe a town of flavor, you could call it.
What is he up to?
Ireland. I don't even know where to begin with.
Ireland.
I know where I'm beginning. Soda, meat, bread.
The bread is good. The bread is good, but the beans.
Playground for you to dip, dive, dunk.
I can't stop eating. I keep eating something, then I go.
Beans
back
and
to
the
something
pudding
else.
is not my thing, man.
Flavors all combined into one amazing dish that I thought would be a bit too much. I thought there's too many different components, but all of them work really well together. Even the Filipino one, same thing. It's hard.
I'm hard.
I would pick the Philippines, yeah. I would say the same. I definitely would say the same.
The unanimous vote, it doesn't represent how
It's
close these
if
were for
you,
me, but
that Philippines breakfast you could eat all day, like as lunch, as
First we head
Mexico.
to our next round one matchup, France versus
France.
Colombia.
Okay.
Colombia with arepa con huevo.
Oh.
I've never had this before. and
That
I'm
looks
excited to
like
do things I
egg
love, so
with
I have a feeling
some
this is
sort of
strong
bread.
contender. 2 pan of sauteed tomato and green onion, add eggs, season
You see?
with salt and stir until
This is like an omelette.
A hand-formed fried white corn arepa. Crispy on the outside, but tender, chewy.
Arepa, what is arepa?
On the inside, and enjoy. France with the croissant. I mean, we know what this
What?
is, right? Butter and dough rolled into multiple layers, and once cut and baked, crispy, airy.
Yeah, but what-
Make me want to take my socks off and wiggle my little piggy.
Is that the only thing?
Start with
That
eggs,
is.
because it's the simplest. You can dip them into a cappuccino if you
Yeah,
want.
but
or you can
okay,
dip
but that's
them
not fair. This is not a fair battle. If
butter is butter.
it's,
Nice, crispy, airy, all the qualities of good
it
croissant.
looks
And I think
good.
it's
It looks like a good croissant.
Part of me does.
But if you have on one hand one croissant as breakfast, or you have a full plate with an omelette and some bread, I mean, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Other things.
The French would be appalled. Well, actually, the French are finally evolved a little bit, you know?
They are.
But they're on their way.
God bless.
They're on their way.
Every laugh I get out of Josh, he pays me another 5 nickels. I've got a $1.
Let's move on to the Colombian dish. I like this. If you are not from Colombia, but you're used to like maybe an egg and or bacon centric breakfast, it feels new. You're so used to maybe like toast or hash browns with your eggs. This is a great change of pace if you've never had this before. I love this. I also love that the eggs are deeply flavorful and they've got some vegetative quality to them. It's nice.
It's great. Everything that's combined.
That is
with the egg
sounds
is
weird.
based
Something
on
is has
very basic example
vegetative
eggs.
quality.
Egg and the pepper makes
There
it
are
really working for me.
vegetables in it.
Dishes haven't so far.
It's voting time. One.
I would say, yeah, the same. France,
The eggs are great, but you know, it's just eggs. When you're on the streets of France,
But it's
you're
just
walking
a
down
croissant.
at 5 in the morning, and you smell
But you're
butter,
not in
it
France.
looks like nothing else.
You are not in France. You're sitting somewhere else.
Just eggs is ignoring the tomatoes, the peppers, the spices,
Yes.
and the soul that went into this delicious Colombian meal. And that's why, frankly, I disagree with you.
I'm in
Yeah.
between the two opinions.
Nah.
The croissant is so unique.
It's always good.
And there's nothing else like it.
It's
So
always
I
good, a
almost wanted
croissant.
to vote for this, but just personally, I enjoyed this one more. That means Colombia moves on to the next round. On to
See?
the next matchup, Vietnam versus Turkey. Vietnam coming in with pho. Vietnam
Pho.
recently did very well in our
Banh mi.
where we
Oh,
looked
I had that one time. It was
Now look, pho
great, and I didn't even go to Vietnam. It was like in a food truck somewhere.
That in Vietnam, it's a way of life. Lay thinly sliced raw beef on top of your cooked rice noodles. Pour over boiling hot broth to cook the beef. Garnish with Thai basil, sliced onion, green onion, a little Thai chili, cilantro, braised sliced beef, and finally bean sprouts. Turkey coming in with menemen. We followed the
What?
recipe
Menemen?
exactly from a YouTube channel, Turkish Food Travel. Thank you for that. You start by sauteing peppers in butter and olive oil, followed with chopped tomato. Season with salt.
It looks like
Down,
a lot.
Down, roughly crushed using a potato masher. Then gently stir in some scrambled eggs and very gently cook till the eggs are just barely set. You don't want to overcook this. Add a little cheese on top, optionally. Serve that with bread, and it's that.
Oh,
Giving a lot more breakfast energy for me. I'm gonna
yeah.
get here.
That would be my pick. The Turkish meal.
Outside, and this feels like such a nice warming presence. This is a great.
It looks
breakfast to
good.
start off the day.
It looks like a good
I didn't know
breakfast.
how the bread was gonna go with it, but that soft texture on top of another soft texture wasn't a problem. It was just a really good taste.
It looks so
Light
good.
green spicy pepper in there. It's like the perfect amount of heat, and also the flavor is a little bit more subtle than a jalapeno.
You got cooked down concassé tomato, essentially. Red bell pepper for a little bit of sweetness. And then you have this green pepper that provides an herbaceousness, a little bit more of a vegetable flavor. But then there's the egg. It's custardy, it's juicy, it's cheesy. I mean, it's kind of like everything that you like about many breakfasts in the world in one. But it's funny you bring up never warm up because we have a bowl of warm pho, which I would argue is maybe the perfect item for the winter.
But would you? It's like a soup. I would not pick a pho as a breakfast.
Flavor punch.
I don't know that I would say this is less flavorful.
Less spicy.
It's definitely less spicy, but I think pho is all about flavor. They're both good in their own right. What do you think?
Yeah, but the one is a soup. The other one is more of a breakfast.
Time to vote. 1, 2,
I would
3.
pick Turkey. I would, yes.
Wow, unanimous. I'm not saying that this dish is better than this. I'm just saying that this is a better breakfast dish.
See? That's what I said.
Vietnam, eating pho for breakfast every day and associated that with breakfast, but unfortunately I didn't, and so this eggy, peppery bread.
I don't think it is that big of a breakfast thing.
Final round one matchup: Brazil versus Australia.
Australia.
But who is gonna make it to the quarterfinals?
Avocado toast. I don't. Cheese bread. Okay, I love cheese bread.
Hand to get the dough balls separated. Placed onto a baking sheet. Baked at 350 Fahrenheit until they come out rich, golden, and beautiful. Serve immediately with strawberry jam and black coffee. Australia.
Black coffee. Okay.
Avocado toast. In our recent fast food breakfast video, our friend Andy cooks something Australia loves and is known for its breakfast. So
That is looking great. I do not like salmon. I'm not liking salmon. Without the salmon, I will eat it.
Seasoned with salt and seasoned with
It looks good.
coriander and served with cold smoked salmon on the side.
Yeah, skip that.
Andy, we love you. And by
Skip
we,
that.
I mean me. It's funny because this is clearly from Brazil. But to me, when I think of avocado toast, I think
You can eat it anywhere.
Let's try one. The powder queijo.
Powder
I
queijo.
thought this was going to be heavier coming into this, but it's really light. It's airy. I feel like I could eat 3 of them, maybe 4, and this jam that goes with it is a great pairing. I'm not a fan of the coffee. I'm not a fan of any coffee, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, but that's that. You can't judge on that like I do.
By far the best part for me is the texture. It's like got
It looks good.
a mochi sort of situation
Big-
where you're
big
like
gooey.
chewing it a little longer you think, but you're enjoying every moment of it. The jam, the coffee, sweet, not sweet, works just like the boys were saying.
I also like the saltiness that the cheese
boys.
adds to the bread. A lot of breads to me are oftentimes undersalted. This is perfectly salted. It's actually one of my favorite breads of all time. This is gonna be a tough battle.
wow.
That said, avocado toast
But it's avocado toast. You can get anywhere.
is one of my favorite foods on earth. But having it next to the powder queijo, I don't know.
It's tough. It's light and refreshing as well. It's in a different way. I
But
would
it's-
not be
it's-
upset starting my morning with
Is that
one.
really
It's a good
Australian?
texture, It's a good flavor.
I mean, you
avocado
can
toast
get
is
all those
fantastic.
ingredients like everywhere, and you can buy it everywhere.
I'm trying.
If I would go to Belgium, I could order avocado toast. So is that really
Cheesy bread and jam before? That's a new thing I want to latch on.
cheesy bread and jam? I will pick that one. I will pick that one. Brazil, yeah. Oh, what? Oh, that was close call. Close call.
Avocado toast is great, and most times I would want it for breakfast. But one of my problems with it is it's kind of just is what it is. You get bored of it really quick. What I liked about the powder queijo is on its own it's delicious. Delicious with jam, but think of
Yeah, that is what I mean. You know, you can go any place and you can buy avocado toast. You can't go anywhere to buy the Brazil breakfast. So yeah, it's kind of tricky, man. Kind of tricky, man.
No, I don't know if I could say the same thing about this. It's fighting against something that has like how many components on it? This is one.
The flavors they're not similar, but I'd say they're on like a similar level for me, but the texture of the powder queijo is so much higher for me. It's more interesting. It's something I'm going to be thinking about later today. And you
Really?
if you eat a couple of them, I feel like you're pretty full. I feel
Then
like
it must be a really good breakfast if you think about it later in the day.
the Brazil one.
That's great.
Sorry to Australia and our mayonnaise.
Sorry.
Brazil deservedly takes the final spot in the quarterfinal matchups. Our first matchup of this round is a battle between 2 heavyweights, Mexico versus the Philippines.
The
Mexico,
Philippines.
Chile. This is our top of the Today we have my rojo recipes with guacamole and serrano chilies. Recipes in the description, along with an even easier variation using a can of chipotles. We sent this recipe to Chef Alejandra at Este, one of the top Mexican restaurants here in Austin, and she gave her stamp of approval. She did mention that she tossed the chips and sauce together in a separate bowl, being careful not to oversaturate the chips to prevent sogginess. Great tip. I don't know what to do here, because if someone were like, Josh, what's your favorite breakfast? It would be one of these 2 things.
You're in a tough position. I, on the other hand, just want to eat food, and I'm going to worry about the rest later.
Okay.
Crazy how good that is.
I would like to be baptized.
It looks really good, but is that really breakfast,
4 days
man?
I was out. I had chilaquiles every single morning for breakfast, unapologetically. It is incredible.
We'll get into this.
I'm not looking at, okay, you can discuss it, but the Philippines is not breakfast in the Netherlands as well, so who am I to judge, right?
This is incredible.
I don't know what the to do here.
But I only can see and judge by that. Ooh, Philippines.
This is not an easy decision. I thought it would be going into this. I thought it would blow it out of the water, but honestly, like, I couldn't stop eating that garlic fried rice. I couldn't stop eating the longanisa.
That is-
Even though the chilaquiles, I feel like flavor-wise was a little higher, but this is just such a good balance breakfast.
It looks so freaking good.
right here. I couldn't stop eating these. If
Achara.
this was on that, whole different story. Despite the chicken
Oh.
very good. Couldn't stop that for me.
The way I looked at it was, if I was at a restaurant and I saw both of these on the menu, I would pick this over this every time.
Yeah.
Chilaquiles is everywhere, but how often do you see a great Filipino breakfast somewhere? So, Philippines moves on to the next
Nowhere.
round.
Our next matchup is the 12th seeded Colombia versus our 4th seeded
Masala.
Masala dosa. Breakfast varies widely depending on where you are in India, but most votes from
It looks good. It looks good. It looks good.
Served with a coconut chutney and sambar.
That is
spiced
not-
lentil stew from South India.
Okay, I'm not sure about the coconut.
I grew up with this. Masala dosa is such a classic. It has so many good
And grew
flavors
up,
and different
okay.
options you can choose from.
That's the thing in like America where they're
A
from.
lot of good flavors, but it's
You
not-
have
you can eat that whole thing for
loads
breakfast and
of
feel good
different
about it the rest of
cultures,
the day.
so that is flowing into each other. You can go anywhere to get it. But I'm from a small town in the Netherlands where you can't buy these kind of things. You have a sushi place, you have a snack bar, you have a pizzeria, and that's
Will it be enough?
mostly it. I would pick Colombia. It looks way better. No. Oh my god.
Although the arepa con huevos are delicious, this is just super unique. There's nothing in the world like this.
I don't know. I never had it.
Every morning, I
It looks a bit like puke in a pancake. Sorry, India. Sorry, but it does not look that appetizing for me.
Semifinals against the Philippines.
Colombia looks better.
Quarterfinal matchup: USA versus Turkey. USA
You.
with a full American breakfast.
Nah, Turkey.
Explanation. Big
Turkey.
fluffy pancakes topped with butter, maple syrup, a plate of bacon, hash browns, and scrambled eggs. It's a timeless staple, but is it really going to be able to stack up against our contenders today?
I like
Nah,
seeing these
Turkey.
dishes in front of each other 'cause they're so
Turkey wins for me.
different. Funny enough,
But they will
ones
pick
that look
American.
A little anemic just because there's such a lack of color. I like that there's like red and green and peppers, this nice rustic red.
I also think the turkey one is more healthy, right? Like, I mean, look at the pancakes with the maple syrup. It's not like. See, there.
There's no combination on earth that's more iconic in the breakfast world than bacon, maple syrup, fresh pancakes. What's more iconic than that? Back to the Menemen, just to refresh right here, all right?
It's
Yeah, the-
because these are classic flavors, but compared to all the flavors we've had today,
Yeah.
the new diverse flavors that I'm experiencing, it doesn't hit the same.
I think I'm getting hit in the head with sweetness and fat, which I do love, but when you introduce other flavors...
That is
suddenly
looking
it's
so
kind of
much better, man.
like
I only can judge by looks. And they were anonymous. See.
I love both dishes, but the sweetness and the fat, it just didn't compare.
Come
to the
on.
deliciousness, spice.
It looks so delicious, man. It looks insane.
One more thing. Look how
Go.
fast this comes together. If you want to make this, you need to cook bacon, you need to cook hash browns, you need to cook scrambled eggs, and you need to cook pancakes. All in separate pans, by the way. This is kind
There's
of
4 pans.
All that to lose to a one-pan wonder.
One pan dish.
A big
Great.
upset. Turkey continues its journey towards the crown.
The next one will be hard. The next one will be hard for me.
Versus England.
It's the same as Irish.
England with the full English fry-up. We've seen this video before, all right? I have a whole recipe for this, and it is that exact recipe, except we did include black pudding and bubble and squeak. We wanted to keep it OG. Onto a large plate, spoon of
Whoa.
generous portion of Heinz beans, separating the
Heinz beans, sausage, eggs, mushrooms, bacon. But leave the pudding, man.
tomatoes,
Leave the pudding. If you left the pudding out, it was
That's my strategy.
my one go-to. I love an English breakfast. I can't lie.
The flavors together, it really gives you an appreciation for all the small individual kingdoms of England that came together to make this beautiful dish.
Probably a lot of people died.
Oh, certainly. I think that's mostly what I'm tasting here.
He had the experience of putting everything together and having a great time. I had a great time having everything.
It's
It's just as good. There's a lot of.
it's also the thing where I think
on here is
is when you first eat something, that memory will get you, that will add onto the experience of a first time trying something. You know, the first time I went to England, I had a full English breakfast and I had a blast of a time there. Like, I really enjoyed myself there. So that also helps with my experience of how the breakfast was. I think that's also a key factor.
really good individually, and I keep coming back. I think that says a lot about this dish.
It's always good. It's always, you can't go wrong with English breakfast, you know.
Everything off of the menu. That may seem gluttonous.
I would like a bit of cheese on it on the toast, but that is just me.
Is it has many textures and flavors and proteins and carbs and starches,
Yeah.
and crispy and chewy and fatty and
besides the black pudding.
I live in fear that my tower of English breakfast will be the best thing I've had today and nothing else will be able to compare, but that's something I'm just gonna have to live with.
Unless we find
Yeah, you have to. It looks good, don't get me wrong, but England wins it for me.
unanimous. I mean, it's not really
Again.
a competition. The powder queso originally
It does look good.
was the simple one over the complicated, but in this case, the complicated one because of the variety of choices.
Yeah,
All
it's-
delicious.
but-
I'm so happy with this. I feel like I could eat this every day.
It goes to
Yeah,
show you just
I
when
would
you think you've
eat
got
that
it.
every day. That's a good thing that I don't live in England, by the way, because I would eat myself sick every day.
Our final spot in the semifinals. Now it's getting serious with only 2 matchups in the final round, starting here with the Philippines versus India.
Yeah, for me it's the Philippines. Philippines. Philippines.
Different from any American breakfast. I think we just need to refresh ourselves here.
It's gonna be so hard to beat that.
India.
This is a crazy matchup. They're both flavor powerhouses. I really thought this would be a matter of which one do I want to keep eating, but unfortunately both of them I want to keep eating.
It's also tough to compare because they're really so different. This one has more sweetness, more fragrance. This one has all the spices and aromatics.
And they both have a ton of textures too. They're so different and one and the same.
For me, the Philippines looks better.
Whoever wins
So-
this could win the whole thing. One.
Yeah, true.
India. It was a great journey, and I really feel like
Yes.
we have a chance to win the whole thing. But for now, we move on to our semifinal round.
Yeah, this will be Turkey for me, I
A
think.
lot of opportunity to win here because you've got 8 plus elements. The minimum has 2. The dish and the bread. Let's begin.
Not true, but it's the dish. I do love.
This is tough.
I feel like the texture higher on
I think the variety on England breakfast will win it.
I feel like the flavor on the English breakfast, it has a ceiling, but there is a lot to love about the English breakfast.
I'm definitely
But
feeling
the
the fact that
turkey breakfast looks way
It's
better.
a lot more difficult.
Just remember, whatever you choose, don't worry. You're probably going to disappoint a whole culture.
If you have an immigrant parent, you're used to that.
Wow.
Yay!
Turkey.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be another clean sweep turkey.
The only reason I chose the
Ooh.
was simply because there are more combinations. On
Yeah,
the
true. That's why I thought that would
30 or 40
tilt them
times
over.
you're done. At some point,
But this looks, it looks so great with the cheese on top. Just a simple bread, dip and eat. It looks.
Tomatoes provide the same effect that this does. If you take
If there are any followers from England, from Turkey, sorry. If there are any followers from Turkey, please let me know down in the
I
comments.
think I see what you're saying.
How
To me, this is like an
do you make a proper menemen? Please let me know. Let me know. I'm really curious. I want to make it sometime. It looks so good.
But it's the one that goes the fastest, goes the highest, comes crashing down with the peppers.
But now they go against the Philippines, so that will be a
As I said before,
tricky one.
I think a bar to where the flavor can go on this one. At a certain point, it hits a limit.
True.
This one, it just keeps going and keeps building, and I don't
Okay.
get bored of it. Granted, it's like one of the first times I've had it, but I think I'm gonna want it again over and over and over.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it, and I want
It's a
it.
sleeper,
I need it.
and I think it deserves its top spot.
Give me
There it is. Turkey's Menemen
Philippines, long silog.
takes its rightful place in the final matchup against
We have 2 underdogs. These were some of the least voted for dishes, and yet both of them made it to the finals.
Yeah, they both look good.
Examination to that. Now the men.
Man.
All right, I have my answer. You guys take as long as you need.
Ah, long
Roast gotta get
silog.
his minimum caloric requirement today as soon as possible.
What is he doing? He's,
Does not help you make a
it's
decision.
it's not that he hasn't eaten like in the entire video.
Dude.
I think the long silog will win. See?
Oh
See?
my God! The win
See?
goes to the Philippines for the best breakfast. So many different cultures, so many different ingredients.
Eh.
Philippines got a deserved win. It climbed all the way from the bottom,
All the way to the top.
just like Turkey did, which was a very, very close second.
Yeah.
Feasted on both of these meals, and only one dish had pork, and it was sweet pork with garlic rice with pickles.
It
and all
looks-
of those
it is-
sensations. Just
It looks incredibly good. So that was Philippines for the win, which was great. I mean, they're both winners in my opinion. They both look great. They both have various ingredients, and it looked lovely, both of them. So If there is anyone out there also for the Philippines, let me know down in the comments what and how would you make a good long silog. I'm really curious. I really would like to make one, both dishes, and compare them. So maybe I can pick another winner. Let me know down in the comments, guys. And see you guys in the next video. Bye.